crash in September? Let's talk about it. In the chat, let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching live, if you're watching the replay, how are you doing? My name's Mike Soter. I've taught 250,000 people about this thing called crypto. All around the world, I've been to about 41 countries, probably have taught in about 25 to 30 of those countries. And the other ones I just had, vacation. So excited that you're here. September 1st, can I get some ones in the chat if you're with me? The month that everything is going to crash is all I'm seeing online. So let's answer that question. Do I think Bitcoin is going to correct or crash in the chat? What do you think, first off? And if you're watching this, hit that like button and let me know where you're tuning in from. Now, quarterly, okay, so Bitcoin quarterly returns on the left, Ethereum quarterly returns on the right. Okay, quarterly means every 3 months, right? 3, 6, 9, 12. That makes a year. Had to do the math there. So historically, okay, we're in quarter three. Bitcoin can kind of go either way. Ethereum is having the best quarter of its life. Now, in quarter three, the last month of quarter three is a month called September, my birthday month, if you want to get me anything. And if you go down here to the Bitcoin monthly returns, okay, you can see here, September for Bitcoin usually is not that good. Okay, since 2017, it's only had two green Septembers. Now, guess what? Last September was green, and 2023 September was green. So here is the question is, what does Bitcoin do now? Bitcoin is at 108,000, and is this it? Now, I'm going to have to probably guess that it's not it, but a correction is possible. Now, in the chat, I want to know what you think. Is the market about to correct itself? Now, we're on the weekly time frame right here. I still think we will see this get taken out. If we go down to the daily time frame, this candle, I think we definitely come back there. Now, I'm not going to give out any entries or anything like that. I do that with all my private students and all my clients, but, could this be that level that we go higher? I was actually showing some people earlier today, like, we have like 90 plus ETFs that are about to get approved. Maybe not all 90, but a majority of them will. And it's going to be an interesting setup here. Now, I think we're in a mode or a move similar to like this, where price went sideways, it poked its head above, ran for liquidity, 21% drop, and then gave us that next wave higher. I mean, it looks really similar here where price ran for liquidity, sweeps the lows, and I think if price can rebalance itself somewhere in here, we have the ability to go higher. What's going on? It won't crash, but we will see a strong correction. Well, that might happen. That definitely might happen. Now, this week we're going into something called NFP unemployment. That's going to be interesting. And I'm really just watching the DeFi numbers, right? Is money leaving DeFi? And the answer is not really. You're seeing price fluctuate up and down, but these monthly changes for DeFi look very strong. So I don't really see a big altcoin, freak out panic. We still have Ethereum sitting at 42.90. So, it's not like it's at 3,500. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, hopefully you are buying down here. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. So just kind of looking at ETH, we're at this high. The market is sitting up here and it's got to make a decision. Now, could we see ETH come back down to 36, 3,700 for sure? But do I think we're going to see sub 2,500, sub 2,000 again? If it does that, we're all in some trouble, and then yeah, we're in a really bad, probably a bear market at that point. We're probably coming all the way back down. Right now there's what we call a sidelined money. And I feel like if they crash this thing coming back down for the whole month of September, we're just in a bearish month. It allows the sideline money to get back in the market, right? Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard somebody say, well, if the market goes lower, then I'll get in. If the market goes lower, then I'll get in. Well, that's not really a good thing to be waiting for. Okay, because eventually the market is not going to go lower and it's just going to continue to go higher. So if we look at something like XRP, sure, XRP is going sideways, it's clearing lows. Yeah, but at any moment, maybe we come down to $2. I don't know. I just know we're probably not going back down to sub a dollar again. So wherever this thing slows down at, look at this. I mean, this thing went sideways here for 163 days. Right now we're at day 43, but this was a sideways 43% drop, broke out. And, I'm guessing eventually this is going to slow down and go higher. Okay. Yes, we do have the super chats live in the stream for those that are in here for the first time. Super chats are on and all that other stuff. Shout out YouTube. This chart right here. Okay, and hopefully you guys are catching up on all these videos I drop. How many of you guys have seen all these videos? I would go through this list. Okay, especially this one where I break down Solana or Ethereum, who I think is going to win, and then Polygon versus Sui. And if you guys like those type of videos, I will be making more of them this week, comparing two blockchains. Let me know in the chat if we should compare, and let me know what blockchains you guys would like to see go head to head against each other. So that's really what I'm looking at. Everybody's screaming like September's about to be the worst freaking month. I don't know. I know we have unemployment numbers coming out. I know the Fed is probably going to cut rates in September 17th. Most likely they're going to do it. Is the market reacting bearish going into that meeting? Solana is looking pretty strong, if you ask me, against the entire market. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask in the chat. This is not going to be a long stream. I'm going to get off here in just a moment. But, I mean, this is looking really, really exciting for that next leg up. Even something like Sol against ETH. I mean, this looks pretty good to me, if you ask me. I mean, that's the level I was looking at. So far, that's sticking. Yes, make sure you guys like the video, like what Home Solution Group just said. 100%. So, I mean, all the macro indicators, we still haven't broken out. So if this chart has gone as high as it has, yeah, the US money supply and those other total 2, total 3 other, I mean, these are gems waiting to happen. Alejandro, just reach out to me on Instagram. Okay, my Instagram is DeFi Mike Sotero. There's a blue check mark, and don't send money to any fake accounts. So that's what I'm looking at here, guys. I don't think September is going to be a bloody month. Could we have a correction? Sure. But I'm actually going against the grain here. I'm going against the trend. And I'm saying that probably the second half of September, we get the movement to the upside. This is really nice. Not saying to buy this at all, but this is just waiting for price to break above, and so quick. We've seen this move happen so many times where market will build liquidity, get everybody thinking it's bearish, and then just flip, and then vice versa, right? Everything's going up, and then boom, market corrects. Swept all those lows, or all those highs, excuse me. All my students know which projects we're looking at accumulating right now, but big month, right? 17 days going into probably the first rate cut. The language of that meeting is going to be important. Are they going to cut again this year? If inflation gets out of control, we have inflation numbers coming out. Okay, inflation numbers coming out on September 11th, right? If inflation now, that's really the day where I'll make a video making my predictions for September 17th. But if inflation goes up to 2.8, 2.9, and they're forced to pause, oh, that market's going to move. And honestly, that market might move in our favor to the upside, because a rate cut right now could actually, create some volatility, some short-term volatility to the downside. Okay. Anyways, what do I think about the world? I mean, I think it's just too high. Market cap's too high. I'm going to make a video on it probably this week or next week. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. But yeah, 6 billion in market cap, too high. World Liberty Fi, in my opinion, will sweep this low. And until it does, I don't even care. Market created these lows. This was the listing price on Binance, 20 cents. Let's make sure it's the same listing price on everything else. Well, MEXC, of course, is scamming. These are perpetual contracts. 20%, 20 cents was the low. I'd like to see this thing go under. Market cap's just too high for this. So I'd like to see this thing go probably under. I don't know where yet. You know, based on volume, all the big volumes coming in here. I would look back on this chart in a couple days, and I would probably suggest we're going to be under 20 cents there. What about smaller coins like FIDA and Jupiter? I think everything is probably going to go higher. Jupiter, my students know what we're doing with Jupiter right now, and FIDA has just been beaten down, and they kind of changed, not directions, but the team is just stupid. No, any other way to say it. The team is just ran by dumb people that confused everybody with the SNS situation. So we're just pushing down. Maybe it sticks here, 6, 7 cents, but it needs Solana to create all-time highs and the domain stuff to get more clarity. Such a good project, but just probably ran by really dumb people. And if you're on the FIDA team and you're listening, just don't make stupid decisions. It's like so annoying when like why are you like, look at this. Go to coingecko.com. This is a free website. I have no affiliation with them. And like, look at this, Bone FIDA, aka SNS. Like, why would you even do that? Like, they did that, okay, because of ENS, which is a similar project, but on Ethereum's network. That's why they did that. Because they're trying to copy ENS instead of creating their own lane. They're more worried about what Ethereum name service is doing, right? Guys, if you don't know, we have the gifts on the channel. So if you want to leave a gift and support the channel, feel free to do that. And also we have the super chats now officially on the channel. And something that costs you nothing is just hitting the like and subscribe button. We are literally seven subscribers away from 5,000. So yeah, much love. Yes, CRO did take off. And the reason for that is because of this. CRO, Trump. Trump is taking equity in everything. They are doing they're just going in. Right? Trump Media, crypto.com, launched new crypto treasury firm with $6.4 billion. So there's a big partnership there. I know crypto.com was such a red flag when it launched. Let's look at CRO USD on Coinbase. Okay. Let's clean everything up. So, I mean, this thing was just launched, ran to $1, and then it just had that similar movement, which honestly, this looks just like Solana, this type of movement, right? This right here is literally textbook resurrection of price. I mean, come on. Put a 2 in the chat if you see it. I mean, just look. Boom. Boom. Dead. Dead. Breakout. Pullback. Now, guess what? There was no pullback on Solana, and then it goes higher. A better chart to compare that to is probably Radium. Look at Radium. This is identical. I mean, come on. Give me some 2s in the chat if you see this. The chart to the left is Chronos. The chart to the right is Radium. These are like these resurrection type moves that happen. Like, look, lows, sweep. Low, sweep. Dead sideways movement, right? Dead sideways movement. Boom. First breakout, pullback. First breakout, pullback. Higher high, lower high. Now, this creates an equal high and then goes off. Okay, right now, this is where Kronos is right now. Do you guys see it? Put a 2 in the chat if you see it. Now only 6. I appreciate y'all. Let's go. Let's get this thing to 5K right now on the stream. Come on. You guys see this right here? I could see Kronos doing a very similar move. Look, equal lows, equal lows. How many of you guys see this? These markets, a lot of them just move the same. Had my wife go. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thank you guys. We're so close to 5K. It is, you guys don't know, I'm more active on YouTube now. We have a ton of videos on the channel. Literally ETH to 16K, breaking down what Tom Lee said. Who's going to take over Sol or ETH? We just dropped this. The comments are pretty funny. And I posted this morning. We have a brand new video coming out on Wednesday talking about the Intel and Trump thing. That's going to be interesting. So you guys see this. Look, equal lows. Boom. Boom. So does this thing make the same type of move? And does Kronos come back here? So in closing this is where I'd be looking at. And I was never really a fan of centralized exchange tokens because of the FTX situation. And we all know what happened with this this company here. Dude is still in jail. Needs to stay there. So I would like to see 15 cents. If we turn volume on, there's probably a big spike up here. I need to see market trade into that. Somewhere down here, maybe we can catch a potential position. My students will be the first ones to know. And maybe I'll make a video if it happens. Looking at BTC here, I mean, this sideways movement, I mean, at any moment, this thing can just completely snap and this thing flips right back to the upside. So I'm not really too worried. Bitcoin dominance is going up right now as it needed to. And as I've broken down, you know, that chart needs to move like everything else, right? It needs to probably, geez, it might even come back to 60, 61%, and then continue to the downside. Would you open up a short here? No, I would not short when the market is dropping. So thank you for the question, for asking. But no, I would not short. This market looks like it might want to bounce to the upside. I was just on a session with some of my students and we called out buys. If this thing breaks, I mean, Bitcoin breaks here, we're immediately back probably above 110. ETH pushed a little bit lower than expected, but that's why I was explaining to all my students that look left, always look left. When you're trading and investing, look left. Market traded right into that candle. Now, there's no break of structure here. So market could easily continue to the downside. So you got to be careful. But right now, all eyes are on Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin going to make this move? You have the daily candle closing here in 20 minutes. So maybe you get a little bit of relief. It needs to get above 112.5 for me to be like, wow, we're going to really rip. But you can see the last 2 days have been really nothing. This has just been slow sideways down. And Bitcoin's dragging the market with it. Would I open up a short on Kronos? Oh, gotcha. Probably a little too late. Right here, I would. At 36 cents, I might. Market pumps back into that level, maybe. And if I get liquidated, I get liquidated. Or if I lose a trade, I lose a trade. That might be a potential play. I would probably wait for price to slow down. Now, if we run right now into that level, yeah, I'd like that. It's just kind of far away, so. One more to 5K. Okay, can somebody hit the subscribe button? How do you guys looking? Let me look at the countdown. If we hit 5K on stream, oh, that'll really make my day. We are how many away from 5K on the stream? It says we're 3 away on my analytics, but that's okay. I'm not stressed about it. It'll happen when it's meant to happen. I don't like forcing stuff. It's not good. So anyway, guys, to close this out, look, September historically is not a good month for crypto. September historically is not a good month for BTC. Is this the month where things where it just doesn't matter? Because all over Twitter, people are like, oh, I sold what I got out. I called the top. All right, let's see. So in the chat, let me know what you think. Is the short-term top in? And are we going lower, or does the market, right, that 4-hour candle looks pretty interesting there. Can it break out? Or do we just squeeze everybody, get everybody thinking September is going to be bad, and we go higher? What do you guys think in the chat? Other than that, I appreciate y'all. Whether you like the video or subscribe, I really, it doesn't matter. Hopefully, this channel is helping you in any way possible. And if it is, that really makes me happy. So you guys have a great rest of your night. Got a couple videos dropping this week. First one dropping on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Go click notify me. And then we have one dropping on Friday, another video that I already filmed. So let's see how this daily candle closes. And it's going to be interesting. Alrighty, y'all. You guys have a great rest of your night. Well, muted myself. Maybe give it a shot. Hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you on a future call. God bless you.